Hello, and welcome back to the Misty Morrison podcast. I'm your host, Misty Morrison, and this is episode 29 of Was I in the Wrong? Before we get into our stories for today, our housekeeping. First off, announcement. I have posted 50 episodes of the Misty Morrison podcast so far. This will be episode 51. Yes. I was trying to see, based on which we're scheduled already what I had in the bank, but there's one, but this will be 51, so super excited about that. Just chugging along. So please remember to engage with the content to keep helping the channel grow. If you are listening on podcast, please leave a 5-star review, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more. If you are watching on YouTube, please like the video, comment with your thoughts on the stories down below, subscribe for more, and share it with a friend. All right. Story number 1 is coming to us from r/AITH. AITA for refusing to babysit my niece after my sister-in-law called me just a receptionist. I, 28 female, work full-time as a receptionist at a dental office. I enjoy my job, it pays decently, I have benefits, and my coworkers are great. I'm also studying part-time to get certified in medical billing. My brother, 31 male, is married to Kelsey, 30 female. They have a 3-year-old daughter, and I've babysat her a few times, usually on weekends or when they have something going on. I've never asked for payment, I did it because it's family. Last week, we were all at my parents' house for dinner. I mentioned how one of the patients brought me cookies and thanked me for being kind during her nervous appointment. Kelsey goes, "Well, yeah, it's not like your job is hard. You just sit and answer phones all day." I laughed a bit thinking she was joking, but she continued, "No offense, I just think it's weird when people act like receptionists have careers. It's not really real work." I've heard that before. People be working a cashier's job and be like, "Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait till I start my real job." If you are doing work in exchange for getting paid, it's a real job because you're making real money. That's it. I was stunned. My mom even looked uncomfortable, and my brother awkwardly changed the subject. Kelsey didn't apologize or even notice she had upset me. A few days later, she texted me asking if I could babysit on Saturday so she and my brother could go to a wedding. I replied, "Sorry, I'm just a receptionist. I probably wouldn't know how to handle something as important as watching your daughter." She sent me a long message calling me petty and immature, saying I was punishing her child over a comment taken out of context. My brother hasn't said much, but he asked if I could just let it go. My mom thinks I made my point, but says I should have been the bigger person. I'm not even mad anymore. I just don't feel like doing her any favors. AITH? No. Since this is not our petty episode, I'm not here to celebrate the pettiness on this one because I think, this is your brother's wife, so it's an important relationship as long as you want that relationship with your brother and your niece. And I think there were definitely better ways to go about this than the passive-aggressive pettiness. Clearly, Kelsey is not on the same page as everybody else because she didn't notice you or anybody else was uncomfortable. So of course she didn't apologize. But clearly she's thinking about things differently. She's wrong. Kelsey is wrong. Let's see. Your message definitely was petty and immature. But you're not punishing the child. You watching their kids so they can go to a wedding, it's not a favor to the kid. The kid would just as soon either probably go to the wedding or just be home with them. It's a favor to them. So you're punishing them, and rightly so, because the mom is the one who did something wrong. Her comments were not only unnecessary, that opinion was not warranted, it was not asked. They were unnecessary, and they were hurtful. There was no need, even if that's what she thinks, there's no need for her to say it. And for her, I'm not surprised that she did ask afterwards for you to watch the kid because she never realized that she did something wrong. Let's see. The brother asking if you could let it go. I understand supporting your partner in public and, letting them what they did wrong in private, but clearly he didn't do that last part. Like, he didn't go home and say, hey, what you said to my sister and about my sister was very hurtful. She was clearly upset by it. Don't do that again. Like, it was rude. It was unnecessary. Don't treat my sister that way. That's what he should have done when they got home. And by the fact that he's saying, just let it go, he didn't do that. He's not on your side. He's not willing to tell her that she was wrong. You definitely made your point. Your mom's right there. You made your point. But no, you didn't have to be the bigger person. You don't owe that to your sister-in-law. Like, she hurt you. She didn't acknowledge it. Why should you be the bigger person? I think you're right. What she did was hurtful. I definitely would have handled it differently. Whenever she texted me asking if I could babysit on Saturday, so they could go to a wedding. Let's see. Probably you could have said, sorry, I'm not available. The comments that you made at that dinner were hurtful. They were unnecessary. They were rude. And I don't feel like engaging with you right now. Like, it could have been that simple. That would have gotten your point across, possibly elicited an apology if she has any sympathy, and maintained the relationship better than this. And that probably could have taught her a lesson better than just pointing out what she did wrong without explaining the feeling that it caused. You're within your right to feel hurt by what she said. That's like people saying anything is not real work. That bothers me. But yeah, you're right. She's wrong. I just would not have gone about it that way. All right, story number 2 is coming to us from r/AITA_relationships. AITA for calling my husband out in front of his parents after he implied I couldn't handle housework. My late 20s female husband, early 30s male, and I are in the middle of moving. I still live about an hour away, and he currently lives 2 minutes from his parents' house. He also works night shifts, which I know can be exhausting. Every weekend I drive down to see him and usually end up doing most of the housework, cleaning, dishes, etc. It's been going on for a while, and although I want to be supportive, it's starting to wear me down. This past weekend, I got there and saw the same dishes in the sink that I had cleaned the weekend before. I felt like nothing had been done all week. I told him I was frustrated, that I felt like a maid, and that I never get a break. Just honestly expressing how tired I felt. Later that day, we were at his parents' place, and he made a comment in front of them suggesting that his mom should help out with housework. You're in your 30s. Do it yourself. Sidetrack. Gotta find my place on here. Okay. It came across like he was implying I couldn't manage, almost like I was failing as a wife. Oh, they are married. I was so taken aback that I called him out then and there. I said it wasn't fair that I was doing everything and still being made to look like I wasn't coping. In response, he told his parents that I was emotionally disturbed, which completely shocked and embarrassed me. I felt dismissed and humiliated, especially in front of his family. Later, his mom pulled me aside and said I should keep fights between us and that I shouldn't speak when I'm emotional. Throw the whole family away. Oh my, emotionally disturbed? Is this the 1950s? What? I know she probably thought she was helping, but it made me feel like I was being told to suppress how I feel. I get that he's tired and working night shifts, and I don't expect perfection, but I've also been putting in a lot of effort, commuting, cleaning, supporting the move, and just wanted to feel acknowledged. Instead, I was made to feel dramatic, unstable, and like I should just stay quiet. Now I'm wondering if I was out of line for calling him out in front of his parents. Maybe I should have waited to talk to him privately, but in that moment I felt so frustrated and like he was throwing me under the bus. AITA for calling my husband out in front of his parents after he implied I couldn't handle the housework? No. you are right. He did throw you under the bus. And you're specifically asking if you were the asshole for calling him out in front of his parents. No, because he did it first. He started it. He gave it first. No one should live in a world where they expect that they can give something negative and not get it back in return. This took such a turn. Okay, I need to scroll back up. Okay, you're moving. That's why you're commuting. Okay, so you live an hour away. That's a considerable commute, first. I mean, yes, he's working night shifts, but how long has he been working night shifts? He should be accustomed to it enough by this point to be able to stay awake enough to wash the dishes. He's using night shift as an excuse. There are a lot of people who work night shift, or worse, work swing shift, where they go back and forth between the two and just don't have a chance to regulate their circadian rhythm. And they adapt to adulting perfectly fine. They can figure out like their sleep schedule to where they can get the dishes done, or they can vacuum the house. They can do something besides work and come back and sleep. Ugh, I don't like him. I really, really don't like him. I want to know, it's not in the details, but I want to know if he's been this way before. Like, have you expressed feelings, maybe not even these type of feelings, just feelings in general that aren't positive? Have you expressed this before, and has he reacted this way before? Because if you have and he has reacted this way before, then, I mean, you couldn't expect a different response this time. But if this is the first time you've acted this way, I wonder, is it because he's been spending more time with his parents? Emotionally disturbed. I'm still hung up on that. Ugh. And he called you emotionally disturbed, and then she said you shouldn't speak when you're emotional. I feel like they're about to send you off to the loony bin for a frontal lobotomy. That's the vibes this is giving. I don't like this. Like, him and his parents are on the same page. How dare you have emotions? How dare you express those emotions? And how dare you not suck it up and accept being thrown under the bus just because it was not the two of you alone. I don't like this. This feels very manipulative. I don't like it. I think you're not the asshole. You're right. But yeah, they're manipulating you. They made you feel dramatic and unstable. And what you did was neither dramatic nor unstable. Like, you just expressed that he should be pulling his weight. He should be doing his part. And that is the bare minimum to ask for. I mean, if he's always been this way, like if you went into this marriage knowing that he expected the housework to be yours because you're the woman, that's different. Like, you can't expect him to change later on just because it's no longer working for you, because it's been working great for him this whole time. If this is an isolated incident, I don't think it's something to break up a marriage over, but I definitely think this calls for immediate counseling, couples counseling for both of you, individual counseling for you to make sure that you can't be manipulated by them. And also, like, is this move set in stone? Is it possible for you guys to not live 2 minutes from his parents? Because I don't think that's going to go well for you at all. Food for thought. Ooh, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Okay. Sorry, that one got me. Story number 3 is coming to us from r/am I overreacting? And it's tagged not safe for work. And another tag for family/in-laws. AIO for being weirded out that my brother keeps trying to catch me and my boyfriend in the act. That's weird. I'm 17. My boyfriend comes around my house a lot and sometimes we do things. We never actually have sex when anyone is home, but I'll occasionally touch him or he'll touch me or we'll just make out. My bed is creaky, so whenever we move, the bed creaks. We try to be so careful to be as quiet as possible, but my brother's room, he's 15, is just underneath, so downstairs. Whenever he hears the single creak of a bed, he really quietly comes up the stairs so we don't hear, and then swings the door open so that he can see whatever's happening. Now, I know it is kind of my fault for doing stuff while he's home, which is why we've stopped now, but I just think it's so weird. It's not the first time he's done something like this either. He always tries to see when I'm coming out of the bathroom after having a shower, or comes in anyway when I tell him I'm getting dressed. It just makes me so uncomfortable. I've told my mom that I would like a lock on my door. That's what I've been thinking the whole time. Why isn't the door locked? I told my mom that I would like a lock on my door, and she told me I was overthinking it and that he has no ill intentions. Am I overreacting? Edit. Part of the reason my mom excuses his behavior is because my brother has autism, but I really don't think that's an excuse because I also have autism and would never even think of trying to see him in that way. Okay, the edit does not change my answer at all. You're not overreacting. Given the recurrent behavior that he has done this repeatedly, you shouldn't even have had to ask for a lock on your door. Like, it should have been offered. You know, it should be a situation of like, hey, he's exhibiting these behaviors. I know it's inappropriate. It's hard to make him stop. So the easier thing to do is just get you a lock. I'm going to get you a lock. We'll put it on. Basically problem solved for the most part. Yes, it's weird. Let's see. Because, I mean, it's not just that he wants to know what's going on in general. He's, like, waiting for these certain times. Like, he hears the bed creak. He knows you're coming out of the bathroom. And you've said you're getting dressed, and he does it anyway. It's weird and it's creepy. Yeah. You're not overreacting. And it doesn't really matter whether or not he has ill intentions. That, to me, makes no difference. It makes you uncomfortable for your brother to see you in compromising situations or naked when you're getting dressed or just out of the shower. It doesn't matter what his intentions are. You're uncomfortable. It's inappropriate. You deserve a lock on your door at the bare minimum. I don't know what your situation is. I can tell you are overseas from the US. I hope that you are able to move out soon if they're not willing to get you a lock on your door and you can just be done with the situation. Yeah, you're not overreacting. Your mom is enabling his behavior. And if they will, like if your mom or your parents, whoever, will not get you a lock for your door, if this is not a rental and, you know, there won't be any kind of consequences for damaging a door or the door frame, if you have an allowance or any kind of money of your own at 17, just go buy the lock and put it on the door. Are they really going to take it off after? Buy the lock and put it on the door. Ooh, that was a weird one. Okay, story number 4 is coming to us from... Oops. Story number 4 is coming to us from r/AITH. AITA kicked stuffed animals out of airline seat. I loaded onto a Southwest flight and saw a mom and daughter, probably around 8 years old, with a middle seat between them near the front of the plane. They had stuffed animals buckled between them. For anyone who doesn't know, disclaimer, Southwest does not have assigned seating. You just get on and you pick a seat. Let's see. I asked if I could sit there. They balked and said, "The plane's not full." I made eye contact with the flight attendant, who then walked over. They ended up taking the middle seat and the window seat, and then grunted for the next 30 minutes at me while the girl cried holding her stuffed animals. I am not the a-hole, right? No. No. Oh. I mean, you could tell by the fact that the girl cried and they grunted the whole time, like, this mom's an enabler. This child is not used to hearing no. Like, you wanted the seat was available because stuffed animals don't get seats on planes. And it doesn't matter if the rest of the plane was full or not. You wanted to sit in the front. A seat was available in the front. It was yours for the taking. And I mean, you didn't make a scene, you didn't make a fuss. You just called over the appropriate person to help you with the situation, who was the flight attendant, and the situation was solved, just not to their satisfaction. You are not the asshole, you're right. Okay. Our last story for the day, story number 5, is coming to us from r/AITAH. AITA for calling off the proposal after my girlfriend broke her promise and hit me again. Immediately no. So a little background about myself and my soon-to-be ex ? I, 24 male, met my girlfriend, 23 female, about 6 years ago. We were high school lovebirds and went to the same college together. I got my degree in architecture 2 years ago, took summer classes, and couldn't land a job until very recently, 10 months ago. She is still in college and has 1 to 2 years before graduating. We met at a party my friend invited me to. I'm not that social, so I didn't interact with anyone I didn't know, until my eyes landed on, let's call her Mia. One conversation led to the next, and we took off from there. Mia moved in when she got accepted into my college, since I live close by. I offered her to move in before, but her parents didn't like the idea. Nonetheless, I loved waking up every day to see her lying next to me in bed. She loved, and I mean loved, talking about marriage ever since we got serious. She talked about how she would react if I ever proposed, on how perfect we would be as an engaged couple, on how fast she would say yes. Approximately 8 months ago, I noticed her hinting more and more at the idea of marriage. She kept saying things like, "My finger feels cold. A ring would keep it warm for sure." I found it funny and cute. I joked back thinking she wasn't serious at the beginning. I mean, we are still pretty young. I explained to her multiple times that it would be hard, not only because we are young and she is still in college, but because I won't be able to keep up financially. She was completely understanding and okay about it, but as time passed, she kept hinting about marriage, and I kept reminding her that I can't propose yet, and she would at least need to wait until after she graduates. She was a little salty, but remained quiet. One day, my cousin crashed by and stayed over. Mia was at her parents' house. I told her about the whole thing. She said she knew event managers, wedding designers, and a catering manager, etc. Basically, I won't have to pay insane prices to get the wedding done. And she confirmed that the venue will be very nice, but that I would still have to pay a rather kind of big amount, but not as big as it was supposed to be. I was thrilled to say the least and thanked my cousin. I started putting extra hours at work and doing some freelancing jobs here and there, since I also do a lot of art. While I was saving up, happened a little over 2 months ago, Mia opened the marriage idea again, and this time things went downhill. The argument started small, and she was giving me attitude. I was exhausted from the amount of work I had done, and just told her that she will have to wait. One thing led to another, and the argument got heated. She slapped me across the face, and damn, that hurt. The slap left a visible mark on my face. It stung like hell. Her nails took a little bit of my cheek skin too, so I bled a little. I could tell she looked sorry and apologized for the overreaction, that she didn't mean it, and that she was an idiot for doing that. I didn't want to start anything, and I just took my phone and wallet and stayed over to a friend's house for a day. She didn't blow up my phone and just texted me that she was sorry and respected that I needed time to process things, and that she will be waiting for me if I want to talk again. I came back later and we started talking and sorting things out. This was the first time she'd ever hit me in 6 years, and we never physically hurt each other. I told her that I am scared that she will hurt our children if we ever had any, when things got heated. She said that she would cut her own hands before doing that, and continued to promise me that she hurt me by mistake, that she will never hurt me again. I forgave her and gave her another chance. Things were going very nicely. I bought the ring and just needed a little bit more money to finally propose and then pay for the wedding. Fast forward to yesterday, we had another argument. I'll cut to the chase because you all already know the reason for the argument. I got slapped again, and after that second slap, I lost every single drop of love I had for her. She apologized, said she didn't mean it and that her hand slipped. I told her that she broke her promise and that I don't think I want to marry her anymore. She cried and asked me not to say that. I let her know that she had one day to pack her things and get out, and that I don't want to break up and just need some time alone. I let her have the room and slept on the couch for that night. I woke up today and heard her crying very loudly. I thought she was just sad because I kicked her out. As I was scrolling on my phone, she left the room with the ring box. I hid it pretty well. I really don't know how she found it. She was crying and asking if that was for her. I told her that it was, but that I needed some time to think before discussing this matter. I helped her pack and listened to her crying and begging to not break up with her, and that she loves me and cares for me. Currently, I'm getting messages from her friends telling me how much of an asshole I am for doing this to her. Hello? I am the one that got slapped. I'm at my cousin's place and she told me to just break up, that in the future she will get more violent and that I'm basically allowing her to abuse me and our future kids. She recommended writing about this on Reddit, so here I am. I still really love Mia, even though I said I don't love her anymore. After 6 years of being together, I really thought that she will be the one I wake up with for the rest of my life. She called me and said that she really wants to talk soon and have a civil conversation. I really need help on what to do now. I'm stuck between loving her and being scared that I will have a hellish marriage if I propose. And AITA for canceling the proposal for now? No. You're not the asshole. You're right for canceling the proposal. Doing it once, okay, I could see forgiving her because it's not a pattern of behavior at that point. But the moment she did it the second time and tried to say that her hand slipped, she knew what she did, she knew it was wrong, and she tried to make excuses to keep you. Your cousin is right. Please believe her and believe people when they show you who they are. It is wild that this didn't happen for 6 years. But, she's so stressed out about wanting to get married that she finally let her mask slip, and she's hit you twice now. And, just like every abuser does, she made the promise that it would never happen again. And there it happened again. Because she got mad, she got too emotional, she couldn't handle it, so she lashed out physically. And that will be a continuing pattern because there's already a continuing pattern for her. Really proud of you for being willing to discuss your story and bring it to Reddit and get the advice that you're looking for. But your cousin's advice was all you needed. I don't know what's going on in Mia's head, but her desperation for this marriage is weird. I want to know why she really wants a marriage. Is it because you have a degree in architecture, she expects you to make great money, and if you get married, she can take half of it? When she leaves you or when you leave her, I don't know. But her behavior is wild. Your cousin is right. She's going to abuse you. I don't necessarily know whether or not she would abuse the kids, but probably. Is it worth finding out? No. Cancel the proposal. If you love her that much and you want to try to save it, she needs to go to therapy. She needs to admit what she did, admit that she did it on purpose, and get help with managing her anger. If you want to go that route, if you want to keep trying. I wouldn't. But if you do, okay. And then you have to go into that with a mindset, third strike, you're out. If it happens the third time, you're done. And after this, if you do decide to keep trying, no proposal. No proposal for a long time. But honestly, I think she'll do it again. I hate that because you did love her so much. But clearly, she's a different person than you thought she was. And I would just believe her. Believe her actions because they spoke a lot louder than her words. Good luck, OP. All right. That is 5 stories and us done for the day. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Misty Morrison podcast, and I will see you next time. Bye.